All right, good morning. On this fine Christmas Eve morning we have here. BLNK popping up quite a bit. I'm just going to put BLNK on the watch list here. Might be able to get a possible quick scalp out of that. Are you Santa Claus, DB? Is that what you're being today? You're being Santa Claus? Volume is a little light today in the market. You can tell. It's not that many stocks with volume. Looks like the SPY may get ready to have a little pop here soon. BLNK, yeah. That's what I said. That's what I put on my list. Because it was looking pretty decent. I got GVO on my list as well. GVO's right here. GVO's kind of in this downtrend currently. Decent consolidation there on the 1 minute. Right there. On the 1 minute right there. Is that what you're talking about? Yeah, there's a good support right there. So if I've got your strategy right, One Life, you'd be buying on this 1 minute candle. Right off the 9 here, since it just passed this last candle there. It's bouncing off there too. It looks like this is probably going to make a new high a day here. Possibly soon if it can keep buying volume. That little possible breakout there. Let's pop back over the GVO here. See, SIF. What is the... Okay, so the reported earnings. I don't know what you're talking about, Daniel B. What stock are you talking about? Are you talking about Gevo? Or not Gevo, but BLNK? Yeah, that must be what you're talking about because it is up $7 already. Yeah, that's why I didn't go on that setup for BLNK because I was thinking kind of the same thing. But I mean, this is a good looking triangle, but it needs that volume to continue to increase. Gevo is still pushing up. Looks like it may try to go for a new high today as well. It's 375 area, some resistance. I mean, this did just go from 320. Just ran 50 cents, so without really any pullback. And it's popping. Let's see. Let's see if we can get through. Yeah, there it goes. Starting to get through 375. Pop back over to SIF real quick. Check this off. I was watching GBS to see if it's going to get any action, but it's not. Oh, yeah. BLNK did pop above that 52. Made a new high there out of that little triangle. Now that that triangle's broken there, so where's that pre-market high at? So it barely just popped above pre-market high. But it is, I mean, it's about 30 cents off the 9 EMA on the 5 minutes, so I would expect probably a pullback here soon. Yeah, this is almost the double top right here, so yeah, it's probably going to pull back to the 5 or the 9. We're close to the 9. There's some support right there at 360. If I can pull back to 360, I might take an entry on that. Yeah, now it's definitely a double top. And starting to pull back a little bit. See, 370 seems to be a little support. SIF. Trying to test this downtrend right now. And starting to push over a little bit here. It's about 50 cents off the 9 EMA. It's pushing though. This engulfing candle getting in right there at that 643, 650 area would have been a good entry on this. Let's see, let's go back to GEVO. So yeah, it did bounce off of that 360 area. I'm a little more interested in SIF right now. Big pullback all the way down to 650. Give that a minute to close. See, GEVO's starting to pop back up, it looks like. Trying to get back. Merry Christmas, Mark. How's it going, buddy? SIF pulling back right at the moment. But GEVO is starting to pop back up here. GVO's good to go, you say, One Life? It needs to break that 1 minute on the downtrend. If it starts popping back above 375, I may go. Yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm waiting to see if this candle's going to start popping up here on the 1 minute. As I said, it needs to get over at 375. It looks like GVO's going to sell off here, but it's definitely some indecision in this consolidation. With that down, it's getting hung up at that downtrend. It's got a, yeah, there goes the push back down. Let's see, SIF. See, kind of bouncing. Let's see where this 5 minute candle closes and this next one opens up on SIF. We got 30 seconds. SIF kind of getting smacked back down there. Pop back over the GVO real quick. This is the thing about today. Volume is a little light on everything. But GVO and SIF both do have pretty decent volume. One of these I think is going to pop here soon. Just trying to figure out which one it is. Actually, it may be. See, volume's decreasing on GVO there. What's FRSX doing? FRSX starting to pop up a little bit. Coming up to that $5 area in this big downtrend. Testing that 505, the downtrend right now. So I got a couple of different possible plays here. See, SIF starting to pop back up again. I'm going on SIF. Off the 9 EMA there. See if it starts really getting volume here. Just gotta get over that 675 area. Oh, there we go, starting to push. Still getting held up at 675, but it did push through there real quick like. Still getting held up there though. Here we go. A little bit of buying coming in. Got that spread all the way up to 670. We're still getting hung up in this area. See, there we go. Now it's starting to pop. Now we're breaking through that little area. See if it's going to test 7 here or not. See, 670 starting to hold up as resistance, or as support, trying to. Ooh, and it's having a little bit of pullback. I'm trying to figure out, let's see. The first target would be 7. That would be my first target on this. Let's see, 653. Starting to look like it may crack though. It's a very low float stock, so it's all over the place in this indecision. You're starting to push back up again. Got to get through this 690 area. Just putting a stop loss in case it turns around and dumps, because this is a very low float stock and I don't want to take a big loss if it doesn't break out, because today is not really the day. I could have to really be holding stocks this long. See, let's redraw this downtrend because it's kind of more like this now. Yeah, that looks right. Looking a little weak here. Getting close to my stop loss. See, we got let's see, what do we got? A minute almost on this 5-minute candle to close. This 5-minute candle needs to close above 650, preferably above 660. Yeah, this is Thinkorswim. If you go to the day trading playlist, I have a setup video of how to set it up just like this. You really need to see buying volumes pushing in. So we got 10 seconds for us to close over 650. Yeah, it didn't make a new high yet, but if this 5-minute engulfs this one and gets over 675 again, then it's probably going to make this push. That'd be an engulfing candle pattern on the 5-minute. So it needs to start pushing over 675. If it doesn't push over 675 right here, then I would say it's probably going to sell off. This 5-minute candle needs to push over 675. Because if it doesn't, then we're starting to curl over. Need to see buying volume come in here. We're getting a little bit of buying volume. Let's see. Okay, so we're testing that 675 area. Still getting held up. This 5-minute candle needs to close over 675. I should have been more specific to make this engulfing candle pattern. Getting a lot of indecision through here. You see how much is getting rejected at 675. Having some selling volume come in there. That's why we need increasing buying volume. Increasing buying volume to push it through 675, and then this will be good to go. If it doesn't push through here on this 5-minute candle, though, this is gonna sell off. These buyers are gonna get tired of trying to hold this up. We got a minute and a half. So we don't want this candle to close looking like this. Yep, and I got stopped out there, so couldn't do it. Could not get the breakout. You see that decreasing, that we got selling volume increasing and not buying volume. That was the difference right there. If this was green buying volume bars and it pushed through 675, then you would have seen a nice move on this, but instead increasing selling volume came in. It's a decent setup. See GVO slowly climbing back up. So how did FRSX do? See, FRXX started breaking over that 505 over this downtrend, and then it got rejected too. NVCN, that's got to pop out of nowhere randomly. But I know I should have known better today. As soon as I got in this trade, it did run 20-something cents. That would have been an easy scalp there, and I didn't take it. I was looking for the bigger breakout. I should have known better with today. Light volume. Let's see how the SPY is looking. SPY kind of going sideways. BL and K slowly climbing up. And just hit a new high. See, NXLT. But this is how you can tell that volume is light in the market, because this is the top 10% NASDAQ gain list, top 10% NYSE gain list, and you've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stocks over 1 million volume there, and 3 on here, and that's it. On a normal day, these would both have most of the stocks on these lists. Oh, I was down a little bit. So that one actually does. That one has what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's get that line out of there. Come on. You can get out of there. There you go. So there goes GVO, moving up to that 385. If it breaks that 385, which it looks like it might here, then you'll probably see this move up to 4. I still have some funds. I could look for another trade, but I don't know. $14 loss there. Oh yeah, BLNK popping all the way up to 53.67. So very nice move on BLNK. GVO is having a lot of issues here at the high of day at 385. It's Thinkorswim is free to use as long as you have an account with TD Ameritrade. And there's not a minimum. You can open an account with TD Ameritrade for $1 and be able to access this platform. Currently with E-Trade, I've heard decent things about E-Trade. See, GVO, yeah, I was about to say GVO's about to break here, and it did just pop. Got a little, finally breaking over that 385. Looks like it may try to push for 4 here. See, 385 should be pretty good support in that area. If it can hold that area. See, and the 9's at 383. Yeah. If that can start holding as new support, I may try to take an entry. I just don't know how much more GVO's got left in it. So even if that 385 does hold, probably gonna get hung up at 4. Well, you gotta pick. You gotta go through and scan. Like I scanned for my stocks in the morning, and if you go watch that setup video, I show how to set these scanners up the way I got them, and then I make my watch list, and this is my watch list right here, up in the left corner. So I've got about, looks like 7 stocks on there. I usually have 5 to 10, and then as the day goes on, I shrink my watch list. But these 2 right here, are actually for later. I'm going to look at them for possible long-term investments. So I actually only really have 5 on my watch list, and then this is a scanner, this is a scanner, this is a scanner. And I've got a few other little watch lists for other stuff, but like if you go in that playlist lesson video, I tell you how to show you how to find the stocks that are to make your watch list with that are most likely or could break out, the ones that have potential, and then from there you just have to follow price action. But there's stipulations I have, like you gotta have volume. You need over 1 million in volume if you're trading the stock. If not, it's gonna be illiquid and it's gonna be hard to get in and out of it. So that was a good little bounce there off at 385 area. Kind of missed that entry there, but I was talking, so that's okay. But that's very important. You gotta have volume. You usually want a good press release or some type of catalyst, some reason to trade it. If there's not a good reason to trade it other than volume, then it can be a very risky trade. And then you can look at float, and if you want to trade low floats, you can narrow it down by the float. But yeah, I got videos explaining all that in the lesson, the day trading lesson playlist. So Gevo's starting to come back down. Still not able to push 2-4 yet. Well, that would be relative to the float. So if you don't know what the float is the amount of shares available to the public. And NIO is sold off. I mean, it has had good volume, but the volume right now is decreasing on NIO. So that's why NIO is not doing really anything. And then if we go over to Tesla, you can see you've got steady volume where buying volume is coming in. So that's the difference. The amount of shares that are being traded, Tesla's consistently being traded, and you can see there's more buying volume on these green bars than there is selling volume. Where NIO just is, you had two big selling volume bars there. You had some buying and selling and a little buying and then selling, but volume is consistently decreasing on this. You can draw a line right there and see it. Well, if it'll draw, there you go. So that's part of the price action. That's why volume's so important. It gives you an idea of which way the stock is going. And I'll expand on the float. The float is, since it's the amount of shares available to the public, it's supply and demand. So depending on how many shares are out there, like the float could be 40 million, let's say. But if insiders and institutions own 50% of the float, then the amount of shares that's actually available to the public to trade at that point is only 20 million. So the float can say 40 million, but that necessarily doesn't mean that there's 40 million shares out there to be bought or sold. So Tesla, Tesla's probably being held by a lot of institutions, so the float's probably actually in reality a lot smaller than what NIO is. Because NIO is a pretty speculative play. Thinkorswim doesn't have a way to see float as far as I'm aware. So what I do is on my scanner over here, or not my scanner, but this watch list, I have shares, and I do have it on the scanners too. And you can see the shares, and that's sort of your float. That's not exactly the float because that's going to include all the shares that the stock has. So like GEVO has 119 million shares, but the float probably is more like 80 million. 30 million are probably company private shares or something like that. So I just use the shares to get an idea. It's usually not too much. It's not usually too different than the actual float. It's usually pretty close. Whatever the number is here is usually pretty close. And let's see. And I'll show you an example of what I'm talking about here. There could be a way to find it on Thinkorswim, but I don't know. I've never seen it, how to find float. Or there might be a way and I'm just forgetting. Let's see. So, okay. See if you guys can see this. Let me add a window capture here. Yeah, so if you see this here, this is Yahoo Finance. This is the easiest way to find the float, but you type the ticker symbol in, you go to statistics here, and this is GEVO, and you can see float right here under share statistics. So the float, the actual amount of shares that's available to the public is 103 million. And then over here on Thinkorswim, it says 119 million shares. So it's usually fairly close. And then you also see they're held by insiders, held by institutions. So hopefully that helps you understand that a little bit. But yeah, after the stream, go get in that day trading lesson library, and there's lessons in there that'll show you all this stuff. Like, I don't mind answering questions, but if you really want more detail and a better understanding, those videos will definitely help, because I'm more in trade mode right now than I'm in teach mode, so it's kind of a different focus, Let's see, Voya actually popped up a little bit there. Oh, I know what, I got my volume. Okay, here we go. GEVO, a little pullback here. Got all the way up to 410. Let's see, let me check the sway scanner here. Yeah, normally this scanner too, by this time, yeah, it's already 11 Eastern. This scanner would be full of millions in shares. So volume's light, and the closer we get to 1 o'clock, because the market closes today at 1 p.m. Eastern, which my time, it actually closes at 12, so there's only 2 hours left. But volume's going to continually decrease. You probably see the SPY sell off. Yeah, see the SPY is already selling off. This is what's going to happen. So I'm probably not going to make another trade. Ross Cameron going to jail. Did anybody ever find out why he was going to jail? Because I still haven't. I mean, I'm not like actively researching it because I really don't care that much. But I'm just curious what the reasoning he's going to jail for. I'm sure it's something to do with scamming people, but. Okay, this is what is going on here? Air T to form new aircraft management business, capital joint venture. And this thing has ripped from $11 to $32 with only 360,000 volume. Very low float. And it looks like it's a halt fest, so this is probably nothing you want to trade, but I'm going to put it on the watch list just to see what it's going to do here. But yeah, the later it gets in the day today, the more people are going to be locking out profits. They're going to, swing traders are going to be locking in their swing trades because they're not going to swing it over a 3-day weekend. So we're going to start to get a lot of selling volume. Like I said, when I showed you the SPY, it's already coming in. So well, that's the thing. Like I just said, it's a 3-day weekend. So for long term, yeah, you might be able to get some dip buys on some decent plays. But there's a lot that can happen over a 3-day weekend. And right now, this year, especially as crazy as it has been, there's like the whole world can change in 3 days. So we're going into a new year. I mean, we do have what I think a few days in December left next week of trading. Let me look here and see. Look at my calendar. So yeah, next week we got 1 week last week of December, which also this time of year a lot of people are liquidating positions because of tax purposes and all that. So I mean, you might be getting a dip buy, but you could also be buying a fallen dagger. Like if it was a normal week, if this was like a normal Friday, and it was the market hadn't been too volatile, then you could get some dip buys. But trying to do it with everything else going on right now, holidays, last week of the year, so tax, people are going to be liquidating for taxes. Like there's a lot that could change and go wrong. So buy at your own caution. You might get some good deals, you might not. Boy, this thing went on a nice run. Was that about a $20 run on that? On PDD? Gevo trying to push back up again. Got a little consolidation here. Crazy thing still halted. Nile Therapeutics. So the director purchased a bunch of shares. 15.25. It's the price she got them. Well, this would have been an easy play. Because if she was buying them at 15.25 and that press release came out early this morning and it was at 12, then that, I mean, obviously it's going to move up to what she bought it for. But normally that opportunity is not there. But I mean, at that point it was hard to even find this stock, really. It wouldn't have showed up on any of my scanners. Yeah, at this point, I don't think I'm going to try to make another trade. It'd have to be something really spectacular. Let's see what is AM doing? Nothing there. SIF still selling off. And this is probably what we're going to start seeing is a lot of stocks start to sell off. Gevo. Do you mean GEVO, the one I'm looking at? Did you mistype, or is that a whole different stock? It's up so much already. If this is what you're talking about, that's why I'm hesitant to take a position on it, especially with today's market conditions. But it is starting to pop some more here. Different stock? Okay, I'll take a look at it. Is this for long term or? It's funny, their name is Canoe, but they have nothing to do with canoes. Honestly, it's it's a new company. It's a brand new IPO. So there's not enough information. I mean, you have 3 days of information so far. So there's not enough information for me to tell you if this stock is going to last more than a week or not. There's no. Their cars are built on a skateboard platform. Interesting. I have no idea about this company other than what I just read. So you'd have to do your research on it. I mean, if it's something you like, it is pretty. It is sold off, but it could continue to sell off. See, Gevo. Yeah, Gevo is running. Did break over that 4. I just don't know how much Gevo's got left in it. That's the thing. Like it's still climbing, but yeah, I can't tell anything off of that max chart. There we go. So getting held up at 425 there. See, this unhalted and sold off some more, so that's not doing anything. This is another one. Another one of these weird low float stocks that a halt fest. Fly leasing. Gevo next story stock. I see what you're saying just by reading this press release. I see what you're saying, One Life. This new production facility they're building is planned to produce 45 million gallons per year collectively of jet fuel and renewable gasoline products. But they haven't bought it yet. Oh, let's see. Company announced it has optioned the right to purchase the land near. So they optioned the purchase. They haven't bought it yet, but they're saying they're going to. So a lot of I'm sure it's definitely a lot of hype, but right now it's a pure speculation play. If they come out and actually buy that land, I'm sure this will move up some. But yeah, definitely can be good for scout plays at the moment with the FOMO and all that. Let's see. They say they had 1 billion in contracts with South America or something. See, they could be blowing smoke. This could all be smoke blown by this company. But that doesn't mean that retail traders are not going to be hype about it and push it up. So there definitely probably continue to be opportunities on it. I don't want to touch it where it's at right now. It's not at the moment. Let's see. We do have a little triangle of consolidation. Another possible popping point there. It is smoke, pure momentum. Yeah, exactly. Exactly. If there's any new, I know there's some new traders in the live stream. Don't get caught up on hype trades. Like, I'm sure there's probably articles about Jivo saying buy and load up, but these penny stocks, that's how people get you. The new age of Wolf of Wall Street is, instead of calling you to get you to buy stocks, there's articles pumping them and everything everywhere else. So you got to do the research and look into it, because like if you just saw that press release that I read, I almost misunderstood it, and then I took the time to actually read through it and see that they actually haven't done shit yet. So that's what you gotta understand is if they haven't done shit, then it's all smoke. Happy holidays, Dan. Sure, what's up, Dan? What's your question, buddy? Okay, alright. So you go up here to setup, application settings, order defaults, default quantity orders. Right there. So setup, application settings, order defaults, and then you can change it to whatever you want. You got the order quantity increment. You can change the increments or the default of the orders. So like I've got mine on 10, so it's 10, 30, 50, 100 or whatever. And then make sure you apply settings. But just to show you, if I change this to 50 and apply settings, well, I didn't do it. Maybe I did the wrong one. Hold on a second. Let's see. Oh, I didn't change it. There it goes. See, there it went. There it changed it. I don't know why I didn't change it the first time. But yeah, you can change it to whatever you want. And that way you got it set up for you to do quick trades. The hell am I at? Oh yeah, okay. Got lost for a minute what I was doing. There we go. No. Just keep mine on 10. Damn it, it didn't do it that time. See, for some reason, you might have to try it twice, because that's 2 times in a row where it didn't work. It didn't actually update the... Well, now it's not wanting to do it. Come on, Thinkorswim. What are you doing? Apply. Alright. Okay, Thinkorswim. Alright. There we go. Alright, that worked. Here goes Daniel B with his nonsense. He's starting. He's starting. I've been waiting for him to start. He's been quiet most of the day. Now he's starting his nonsense. His crazy talk. Like Baba's a bloodbath. He's cornered the wheat market in Asia. That's funny. The wheat market in Asia, huh? Is that what you're trading, DB? You like to trade Cooper? Pretty sure trading people is illegal. So Jivo's got a pretty nice downtrend going on now here. See, trying to hold up that 408 area. The support. Actually, this may be a chance for a decent entry. Pennsylvania Railroad. Are you talking Monopoly now? There you go. There you go with all your crazy talk. Yes, this thing's a halt fest. Up and down, up and down. Halt, halt, halt. Why you don't want to trade those. You can destroy your account with those crazy plays. Let's see here. Give me just a couple minutes, guys. I'll be right back. I'll take a quick little breather here. And then we'll see what happens, and probably in the stream here soon, because we are getting closer and closer to the market closing. So give me just a couple of minutes, and I'll be right back. All right. So Jivo is breaking out of this triangle a little bit here. Maybe I might try to scalp this. Thinking about it. Volume is decreasing. Selling volume is decreasing. See if buyers start coming back in this or not. So there's a lot of sellers there sitting in this 414 area. I don't know. There's not much buying volume coming in right here. Well, some buyers did just come in at 410 there. If it starts to pop over 415, I may try to scalp it for 10 cents up to 425, possibly. It's not going to be it's going to be a small win if I do take that trade, but gotta wait to see. Oh, popping a little bit quicker than I thought it was. A lot of selling at 420 though. $420 is starting to break. I'm gonna try to take a scalp here and see if it runs 10 cents. If it breaks over his 425. See if it can make a new high a day here. Let's see. 425 is getting rejected at. My original plan would have worked, but I hesitated just half a second. So I did get that break over 415 to 425. I'm gonna see if it's gonna push any more here. See, it's trying to push back up to that 425. It needs to push back up and break it soon. It's gonna move anymore. Ooh, big pullback there, big upper shadow, so I'm probably about to get out of this. I'm watching right now to see if buying volume is going to come back in. It's testing the 9 EMA on the 5 minute. If that cracks, I'm getting out. See, I already should have been out of this play if I wouldn't have hesitated that 1 second and got in there right there at that 415 area. That'd have been a nice little quick scalp, but got in a little bit late. Now, try and give it a chance to see if it's going to push back up, but it's looking pretty ugly. And it looks like it's going to crack. Ooh, yeah, big crack. Everybody's starting to sell this off, so gotta give it half a second to push back up so I can minimize this loss somewhat. I may just have to get out and just eat this, because this is not. Yeah, I just gotta get out. It's just crashing there. I'm not gonna be able to minimize it. It's just gonna keep dropping. It's dropped to 380. That may try to hold support there, but yep, I missed. I hesitated just a half a second, and that cost me. That was my concern, it being up so high and it getting late in the day like this. Yeah, the market's still selling off. Yeah, I know what you're saying, One Life. I mean, my hesitation is what killed me on this. So that could have been a nice quick in and out play right there. And instead, because of my bad entry, see, there's almost an hour left in the market, I think. So what's IZEA doing? IZEA's been climbing. I'm definitely not going to take another trade today, especially as late as it is, but that was the one possible scalp I could have took. It looks like it's trying to hold up that 385 area. Right across there, that support. If it can hold that up, then there may be a play still in there, but see, how's this look on the 15 minute? On the 15-minute bounce, okay. So it is still above the 9 EMA on the 15-minute, but and we got Halt Fest still being a Halt Fest. Yeah, volume's pretty light. You can tell volume's getting really light because barely any of these stock numbers are changing as far as volume. You see, there's a few changing, but not much. So, alright, guys, we'll give the stream here 5-10 more minutes. If you guys have any more questions, suggestions, or ideas, go ahead and get those in. And we will be back Monday. We got the holiday weekend, so see if GVO's holding up. It's trying, but it's looking pretty weak. See, APO is interesting because the reason why I was looking at this possible long term is because this dividend they've paid. Let's see, what do we got? Almost $1.51, 230. Price is at 480. So about a 5%. Am I doing the math right? Let's see, $2, over 2, almost 250. 10% of 48 would be 480. Yeah, so it's about a 5% dividend yield. Well, I'm waiting to see if y'all have any questions. I'm going to do a little bit of research looking at this. So they started paying their dividends back in 2015. The dividend payments are consistently paid out, but the amount is not very consistent. But they come out with this. They're going to buy 49.9% stake in Anheuser-Busch's U.S.-based metal container plants. So they're buying into that. And they've been on, they're on a uptrend of growth since they came out in 2011. but they are a little. Hey, One Life, what is the. Where is it that you can see the information? Product devs. On Thinkorswim, because I always use other things to look for it, and I never use the one thing. Where's it at that shows you their information on Thinkorswim? Because I forget. I never use it. Oh no, it's not in that. Definitely not in that. Fundamentals. Oh, here it is. I found it. This is what I was looking for. That's why I couldn't find it. I didn't have it linked. Now that I have this linked, now I can find this a lot easier. Let's see, the long-term debt to capital. Dividends is going up, but their revenue and net income are going down. So they are an alternate investment manager in the private equity, credit, and real estate. Company raises, invests, and manages funds on behalf of pensions, endowments, and sovereign wealth funds, as well as other institutional and individual investors. That includes private equity, credit, and real estate. Interesting. Very interesting. Oops. That's not what I want. Yeah, so that could be an interesting possible long-term position, especially with them buying into Anheuser-Busch's factories. Still need to do more research on it, but very interesting. And then this is the other one. This is Voya that I wanted to look at. Oops, I put on a 15-minute. Let's see. They've been paying a dividend since 2013, it looks like. They don't pay very much. They just started paying a 15-cent one at the end of 2019. Of course, the growth, good, pretty decent, steady growth. That dividend yield is not very much. I don't really like that dividend yield. Let's take a look at it on here. A negative net profit margin. Decrease in revenue. Decrease in income. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that one. I did not like that one. APO has a little bit more potential and definitely has a decent dividend yield to look into. Some strong support at 36.77. If I could come back down to there, that'd be a good buying area. I'll just draw this line so it reminds me in case I look at it again later. Okay, interesting. You have your Christmas Red Bull. I don't know what... Did Red Bull make a Christmas can or something? Oops, what am I doing? I'm on the wrong chart. Here we go. There we go. There's my back to my normal chart. See, GEVO is trying to hold up at 385 still, but not a lot of buying volume in it. SIF selling off. FRSX trying to pop back over 5. Still kind of in a nasty downtrend though. Very low volume on this, so probably nothing gonna happen there. Yeah, you can see volume everywhere is decreasing. Yeah, you can see it on the SPY here. There's probably not any reason to make another trade today as far as the day trade. OCGN, I think somebody asked me about this yesterday. I don't know what you're in at, but right now it's in a downtrend, so, and it's not even close to the top of that uptrend, so it could easily keep dropping. There may be a little support that builds at 157, 158, but just a couple of days ago this was 28 cents. So it's not a good stock. If you look, see, this is the same thing I was saying yesterday. If you look at the total trend that this stock has been in since it's been open, it's been in a downtrend its entire life. It's never not gotten out of this downtrend. So long term, it's not the type of stock I'd want to invest in. That's why I was looking at APO. You can see APO has consistent value up. That's what you want to look for long term investments, is stocks that are continually growing, continual growth. OCGN has no growth whatsoever. OCGN is just a desolate wasteland of nonsense. Yeah, but it's a penny stock. It's 28 cents. Just because they say there's a lot of good things, they can be full of shit. So yeah, but I mean that I'm telling you that sounds good, But Asian hooker sounds good until you get the clap. So, you you gotta, like, with these penny stocks like this, you really gotta look into them to figure out if there is going to be some actual growth. But this company has not had any actual growth, and I guarantee if you go back, there's going to be plenty of press releases. Let's just go back and see. Let's see if how far we can go back here. It's only gonna let me go back to PR from this year. Let's see, can I change that anyway? I usually don't. Yeah, exactly what Daniel B said. They're creating stories to stay alive. But I guarantee if you go back and you look further back than 2020, if you look at some PR from there, so the way you beat stock taxes, because taxes on stocks are higher, is you invest in real estate also. Your tax write-offs through real estate will offset your taxes that you pay on stocks, so you will keep more money. So if you've got 18K in earnings from the stock market this year, then and you didn't buy any real estate for tax write-offs, then you're not doing it quite right. Because the game is to avoid paying as much taxes as possible. That's how the billionaires and millionaires do it to continue to get rich. They invest in stocks and real estate, amongst other things, but the biggest thing is real estate because of all the tax loopholes you get, and you can offset your taxes on stocks. So there's a little tax lesson there for you. But I mean, if you're up 18K, I mean, I know 36% of that is a lot for the government to take, which is nonsense. They shouldn't be taking that much anyway. I'm very against capital gains tax, but because the government did nothing to help you earn that 18K, so I don't know why they feel the need they need to take so much of it. I mean, right now it doesn't look like it's gonna. I mean, that's true. It would suck if you sell it now and then next week it goes up. But like I always say, it's better to lock in profits than hold. I mean, it's a garbage company. Let's go to the analyze. Let's see what it looks like on here. See, you have nobody. Okay, here we go. So we can start to see the bullshit right here. Formerly, Histogenics Corporation is a clinical stage biopharmaceutical company focused on discovering, developing, commercializing a pipeline of therapies for eye diseases. What is their vaccine that they're working on? Because they're saying in their company report that they are they are focusing on eye diseases. And I guarantee we look at these numbers. Yeah, look at these numbers. These numbers are not that great. Long-term debt to capital 100%, so they are stupidly over leveraged. Here, let's do this. Let me pull up. I know how we can look into this. Let's look into this guy and let's see what it's really all about here. Okay. So let's take a look at it. Let's see what kind of nonsense they've got going on. This is a valuable lesson you're learning right now. So this is all their PR. Let's go through let's go back. Let's see how far back we can go. Yeah, here we go. I think no, I don't guess I can go further back than 10 months ago. But anyway, alright. Let's look at the statistics. And let's see what we got here. So their operating margin is minus 32,000%. They've only made, okay, here's their income statement. As a company, they only have 42,000 in revenue. So they're not making very much money. They got 19 million in cash and their total debt is 3 million. That actually is not too bad, but if you look at the cash flow statement, their levered free cash flow is negative 33%. Or I'm not percent, but negative 33 million. So, and this is because of their crazy ass operating margin. This is a shitty run company. Strangely enough, there is some insiders and institutions holding it. I don't even know how they have 19 million in cash if their operating margin is so high. See, in March their enterprise value was 8 million. Now it's 41 million. Let's see, Yahoo Finance got locked. Let's see what we got on historical data. Got a lot of people saying strong buy there on the recommendation trends. Here we go. So here's their income statement, and we can see in 2019 they had no revenue. They don't have any revenue whatsoever. There's none. They've never had revenue. So that right there is not a good thing. They don't have money coming in. They've got operating expenses. Negative operating income. Interest expense, that's pretty high. Like, if this is not something I would want to invest long term in. This is a garbage penny stock. Now maybe let's go look at their website and see what their website looks like, because I'm interested in seeing that now. Maybe they've turned things around. Let's say that they have. Let's say that they're getting on the right path and they're starting to move and get some good stuff going on. Where's that damn website at? I just saw the website. I think it was. Let's be completely optimistic about it and say, okay, they've got their shit together. Let's say that. Let's say that they do. Look, they're not even making any money, and they're paying their CEO $500,000 a year, and then $365,000 for their chief scientific officer. They only have 16 full-time employees. 16 employees. All right. So yeah, that's why you got lock-ins. Okay, so their website doesn't look terrible. It's not great. See, they're preclinical in that one. They're halfway preclinical in that one. Halfway preclinical in that one. So none of their therapies are even in phase 1 yet. This is why you have to do your research. You have to do your research and look into this stuff. Now, I mean, I've spent, 10 minutes here digging into this company, and already I'm like, I don't know. Let's see. Let's see if I can find the farther back press releases. Yeah, here we go. Here we go. Let's see what they were talking about in 2018. Let's see if it was rainbows and unicorns then, too. So they initiated some phase 3 stuff, a couple of different phase 3. Let's go back to 2019. We saw some phase 3 stuff, so let's see. Did they get any of that? Yeah, I don't see any of their drugs getting FDA approval or their. Okay, so they're working on a COVID vaccine supposedly, but they're an eye. Their main focus is eye stuff. Let's see what their third quarter results for 2020 were. So they got the 19 million in cash. The research and development expenses for 3 months ended in September were 1.5 million, and that was more than they spent in the previous year. Okay, all right. There's only 16 employees, and their administrative expenses for 3 months was $1.7 million. I'll let you think about that for a second. There's only 16 employees, and in 3 months they spent 1.7 million on their administrative expenses for 16 people. Yikes. So, I mean, they have gotten more cash since 2019. They don't have any assets, it looks like. Looks like they had assets, and they don't have assets anymore. Or, okay, this is asset held for sale. Okay, I looked at that wrong. Okay. So they do have some assets. They got 20 million in assets. They've grown their assets. Let's see what their liabilities are. This is all their liabilities. So total liabilities 20 million, total assets 20 million. What the shit? It's the same number. I'm trying to figure out why it's the same number. Total current liabilities 4 million. Let's see, what did they do on there? Accumulated deficit 69 million. So we have no revenues. And there's your operating expense. So no money, and they spent 1.4 million this year. And we know they spent 1.7 million in 3 months. Yeah, and will COVID be around in 2021 in another year? I mean, you've got all these other companies that are working on vaccines. So I mean, that just sounds like a pipe dream to me. I want to go back. I'm guarantee that, and if I go back in these press releases, I'm gonna find one that's rainbows and unicorns. Okay, so in 2017 they got acceptance of investigational new drug application. But they're not selling this drug because they don't have any revenue. So even though they got FDA acceptance, I don't know what happened to the drug. Oh, it's a proof of concept study. Okay. So yeah, that's why they don't have any revenue. They don't have anything. They don't have anything out. I mean, I mean, they don't even have that many press releases. So yeah, it sounds a little bit modifier gene therapy platform. This is the science behind. This is all the science is behind their modifier gene therapy platform. Yeah. Wow. I mean, I'm sure they're trying to keep it as simple so investors can understand, but even looking at this, I don't understand. As simple as this looks, it still doesn't make much sense to me. You got Gene X going in there, Gene M going in there, and then you have a circle with a bunch of little circles in it. Potential to address a number of diseases using the same modifier gene product. Like, okay. Multiple animal models have shown the expression of NHRs within retina can stabilize retinal cells and suppress and prevent development of inherited diseases, demonstrating their modifier function. So while this is interesting, I too like to invest in gene editing type of things because I think that's going to be the future. It is interesting, but this company, I don't know about it. Yeah, exactly. There's always plenty of gene editors. Like IIPR is one I'm invested in, and it's pretty high right now. But if you look at these statistics compared to OCGN, let me pop it back up here. There you go. So you can see IIPR here. And let's look at this. What do they got? 55% profit margin, 58% operating margin. They got 97 million in revenue. Quarterly revenue growth 197%. Gross profit of 43 million. We go down here, they got 160 million total cash. And total debt, they got 130 million. And it looks like they've raked up some debt because before they had a lot more cash. But you can see levered free cash flow, and levered free cash flow means the amount of cash that they have after their expenses. So they got 86 million in levered free cash flow. Held 77% held by institutions. So that's right there's a short little difference between a stock that's a gene editing stock that is, I mean, it's already high, it's already ran and stuff, but it will probably continue to grow, is the point I'm trying to make. So, I mean, it is possible. Anything's possible in the stock market, but this is the difference in charts between IIPR and the max long term. You see it's continually grown, and then OCG, and you take a look at, and it's, whoops, and it's continually dropped. So maybe possibly, you know, it could do something. Maybe it won't. Maybe it'll keep growing. Maybe they've turned things around. But the fact that they have no Fubo, you know, talking about Fubo. But the fact that they haven't made any money, or they don't have any money that they're making, is, I mean, it's like, So I don't know. Maybe possibly they turn things around. That's a very optimistic look if you want to look at it that way. But from what I've seen, just doing a little research, they don't seem like a very good company. So do your own research, make your own opinions on it. But that's just my thoughts on it. And Gevo creeping back up to 4. On what? OCGN? I don't even use fib retracement, so I don't. You don't use fib retracement. Are you talking crazy, One Life? I think you're talking crazy. Fubo with a bit of a pullback. Are you talking about Fubo? You don't think it'll go below 40? I don't know enough about that company. I know you've been talking about it, but I'd have to do some research like I just did, but I'm going to call it a day, guys. We will be back next Monday. Some more trading. We'll see what the new year starts to bring. We should be on the other channel tonight, on the politic, economic, all that stuff channel tonight, doing a little live stream. Probably nothing too serious, so you can go check that out. You can go get to that from the community tab on the channel. But yeah, you guys have a Merry Christmas, happy holidays, whatever you celebrate. I hope it's a good one for everybody. Guys, stay safe out there. Till next time.